What is going on, everybody? Drew here, along as always with Mr. Newman. How you doing, bud?
Good, good. I'm having football withdrawals already.
Right, I hear you, man. Well, only one day at least before some of the games go. But
Yeah.
guys, instead of doing just a regular post where we give you our picks all week, we're gonna do a little video here. Give you our picks and our rundown this week, and just get you guys ready for the show. So, without further ado, Mr. Newman, got your picks right here. If you'd like to go through them real quick.
Well, I took the Jags. I think it might be addition by subtraction now that the
Yeah.
Ramsey is out of the locker room. I think there's sure to be a few upset teammates that like them a lot, but I think the majority of that locker room is going to be it's going to clear some of the thick air in there. I think they come out. You got a Cincinnati team that's one of the worst in the league. I know Cincinnati's at home, but I just see it's not going to be a high scoring game. I
No.
just don't see I just don't see Cincinnati putting enough points up, and I think Minshew's had a couple quiet weeks. I think this is a week where he puts up another pretty good performance where he gets the buzz going again.
Nice.
Uh, the Rams, I took the Rams -3 over Atlanta. I think at this point, I'm just going to take everybody who plays Atlanta. I think that
You
might
might
be
as well.
safe. But they too cleared a guy with trading Marcus Peters, and now they're getting Ramsey. Now
I know.
he hasn't wore out his welcome there yet. So when he first comes in, he's going to be a breath of fresh air. So
Yeah.
I'm for opposite reasons. I'm taking each of these teams involved in the trade, and they're playing the Falcons. And if you can, I know the Rams
Yeah.
are struggling. We talked about the terrible game Goff had.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can't beat the Falcons, then they're in real trouble
Yeah.
anyway. And then I took Green Bay. I know it's a big point spread. I like them, the Raiders. And Rodgers is really due to have an Aaron Rodgers kind of 300 yards, 3 touchdown
Yeah.
type game. And this might be the week that it happens. And the
Yep.
Chargers in Tennessee, that's my lock pick. I'll probably lose it.
Nice.
But Tennessee just doesn't score many points.
No, that
And
they don't.
and you can say what you will. They're making a quarterback change. We talked on the show last week, Drew. It's probably the end of Mariota as a starter for the
Yeah.
most part in
Yep.
the NFL. But let's be honest. Ryan Tannehill's not a lights out quarterback either. So it's not like they're going from 2 to 2A,
Yep.
and the Chargers. I know they haven't been playing well. My Steelers just beat them. But I see them putting up points, and I just don't see Tennessee matching firepower with them. So I see it
Yeah.
sort of like a 24-10, 24-7 type game, and that's obviously more than the 2 point. The Chargers are the underdog. When I saw that line,
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I missing here? Maybe
Right.
obviously the odds makers in Vegas got those jobs by
hmm
being smart, but I
Yeah.
think this one is just screaming, take the money, and
Yeah. I was that was actually one that I was looking at as well. I like all of those games a lot that you have picked. I've actually you'll see in just a second how much I like some of them.
yeah,
But I do like all those picks, and I struggled with a couple. I wanted to take Green Bay. It's just without the wide receivers and the weapons. I don't know if they can put up enough points. I love the Rams on that, which I'll talk about in a second. But really good picks, and I do like the lock as well. I do think the Chargers take this over Tennessee with all the problems they have right there. But the one thing that I will say is sometimes that change in quarterback, as we've seen a couple times this year, can give you that at least that first game. And so that's an interesting one for me. But we'll move on to my picks now, guys. And for this week, like I said, we got a couple of games that are very similar. I'm taking the Saints at +3. I don't see how the Saints are underdogs in this game. I just do not get it, especially 3 points. Like if it was 1 or so, I'd be a little scared. 3, I'm not worried. So I've got the Saints at +3 there. I don't see them losing for a while. And then I've also got Houston at +1. Another team that I'm absolutely shocked playing the Colts. Now, I know they're playing the Colts at home, and I know the Colts are playing okay, but the way Watson's being protected right now, the way they're playing, I don't see them as that big of underdogs. So I had to take Houston at +1. Then, just like you, I've got the Jaguars at 3.5. I think Minshew's in for a big game. The defensive moves and everything have concerned me, but I have absolutely no faith in Mitch Trubisky or any quarterback on Chicago's roster. I think Trubisky is being exposed for what he is. I think this is a down year for Chicago, and I think that Jacksonville is going to win this game convincingly. And
I got good news for you.
What's that?
They're playing the Bengals.
Oh, yeah, even better. Yeah, I wrote down the wrong team. Bengals. Yeah, even better.
Yeah.
Even better. So, yeah, I have –
I don't know if I would have went with them against the Bears, but yeah,
I would have.
I think you just wrote it down wrong. I think you know who they were playing.
Yeah, no, the Bengals. I'd take them even farther. I'd take them at they could be 7 or 8 point favorites, honestly. And then last game, my lock of the week, I've got the Rams at -3. I'm like you, man. Yeah. They're playing Atlanta. Atlanta has shown me. I know Matt Ryan's played great. I know they've had some close games, and I know Atlanta is due for a win. But
who says?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a Panther fan. They're quote unquote due for a win just by logical regressing to the mean, so to speak. Well, I mean, I guess progressing in their instance. But I just don't see how the Rams. I know they've struggled a lot. I don't see how they struggle this week. I think Ramsey is an addition that is incredibly, incredibly underrated. I think he's going to be a major change to that defense. I think Atlanta does go on a couple game winning streaks sometime this year, but I don't think it starts this week. The Rams have been struggling. Yeah. Goff's had his worst game. I think this year they come out and have just an absolutely dominant game, and I could see this being a 3-4 touchdown blowout. I think this is a game where the Rams come back, and if they're going to put their foot down anytime this year, it's going to be this week.
Yeah, and if they got any hopes for the division, they got to keep pace with the 49ers. And I go by this adage. Tell me if you agree. When you got two teams that are struggling, you usually pick the better one. And I think it's. I don't think anyone can argue the Rams are a better team right now than the Falcons. I know they're both a little bit in quicksand, but when you have to pick one, you pick the team with more firepower. Who needs to win? I think that's the Rams.
Yeah, no. And hey, Jeff, who says it right here. And by the way, Jeff, Von Miller, ha, I get it. Funny. But he says right here, Atlanta's not been the same since losing the Super Bowl. We've talked about it on the show that we've said it the last couple of weeks. They have not. They're not the same team. I think it's something that's going to take a long time to get over. We've said this repeatedly, and hopefully we get to talk about it more because, as you can see the logo on my hat, if you're new to the show, it does not bother me in the very least that Dan Quinn and the Falcons are struggling. But guys,
I think the only way they get out of the funk is they gotta get some new coaches, new staff in there, and then you have to worry. But as long as they keep what they got going on around now, I think it's just that's what they are right now.
Yep.
Sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're perfectly fine. But what I was going to say is, guys, that's going to wrap it up. We just wanted to go through our picks this week with you, and make sure to tune in this Sunday, 9:30. John and I will be going over all the games, and like I said, we'll have some questions up. As you've seen, got some new stuff going on here. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we're going to start having some of you guys actually call in and interact with the show. And we'll talk about that some more coming up this week. But till then, guys, we will see you Sunday at 9:30.
See you, everybody.
Peace.